the biggest thing that has stood out for me this tournament with this group, and it's been one of our strengths, is every time we've had a loss, and yes, they're disappointing, we've come back stronger and better for them. And I expect that to be the case on Wednesday, and then obviously Saturday and Monday when we play again. So let's put the disappointment of today to good use when we front up against Mumbai on Wednesday, and use it to good effect.
Yeah, we certainly struggled with the bat to be able to accelerate. It was a tough surface. I thought CSK bowled well, and we'd set the game up nicely, but probably the last 2 or 3 overs we weren't quite able to capitalise, and it showed what a difficult surface it was, especially to get guys to come out and try and hit from ball one. So, we were probably 10, maybe 15 short of what would have been a really good score. But we had a competitive score if we were able to bowl and field well. With the ball, we just weren't at our best. We weren't able to hit the lengths that CSK showed us that we had to hit on that surface. And when we missed our lengths, CSK made us pay.
Just took it for granted a little bit tonight that we'd just be able to run in and do what we've done over the last 3 or 4 games. So it's not the end of the world. We still know we're a really good bowling group. That's not who we were tonight. I think we're much better than that, and I've got no doubt the boys will bounce back from that. We've had a couple of games where we've been a bit disappointing, but we've always come back next game really strongly, so expect the same for the boys this time.
I thought Chennai were very good. I thought they strangled us with the ball. Obviously took a lot of pace out of the ball. It was a slow wicket. Certainly didn't look like an easy wicket to bat on. I think at sort of the halfway mark or 9 over mark, we felt that anything around 150 was a pretty good score, but in the end, they won with 8 balls to spare, comfortably 2 down. So, we'll have to go away and revisit, a few focuses of ours and make sure we come back better for Mumbai on Wednesday, because we were disappointing today.
The last game we were outstanding with the ball. This were very different conditions and we didn't adapt. So, as a bowling unit, we weren't at our best. So if you don't hit the right areas and you make it easier for batsmen, you give too many 4 balls. It's hard to create any pressure, and on that surface you've got to create a run rate pressure to be able to take wickets. So yeah, we weren't at our best. It certainly wasn't a lethargy level, it was just an execution one.
Yeah, we were hoping for sort of 150 and then potentially aiming for that, getting 160 with a couple of bonus, when you have a good over or 2 at the back end, but it just looked like it got harder and harder to score on against the older ball, and unfortunately we were trying to play catch up late to get to that score, and then fell short of that with 146 or 145. So yeah, a bit of both really. It's not, you can't just pin it on one.
Look, I thought if we had bowled well enough tonight, we had enough to defend. You can never have enough runs, but I thought the batting group did a pretty good job to get to where we did. And then, we just didn't quite back it up with the ball tonight. But as I said, we'll be better next time.
Whatever you've got, you've got. So you've got to look to try and defend it. So we thought it was very defendable if we bowled and fielded well, which we didn't. So in the end, as I said, CSK kept getting boundaries, kept getting those release balls that got them ahead of the game, and we weren't able to control it. So if you don't control the game out there, as I said, you don't make them take tough options, therefore you can't pick up wickets. So and then you start searching, and I think it's fair to say we searched a little bit with the ball tonight.
Both Virat and AB know these conditions very well. They sum up conditions really well throughout the whole tournament, and the way we've paced our innings throughout the tournament has been exceptional. So, like anything, you trust that judgment, and it was hard. It looked hard to score at the back end of the innings as well. If those guys have faced 30 or 40 balls and they're set, and then they still can't get going, then it makes it hard for the new batsmen. So. You've got to give credit to the Chennai bowlers as well. I thought they took the pace out of the ball well and bowled some pretty consistent lengths.
All in all, we've been travelling well as a team. Today was an area, it was a bit of a blip. We certainly weren't at our best, and we were still able to compete. So we know we've got to step up again. We've always responded well throughout this tournament when we have had an average performance. We've got to do the same in a couple of days' time.
Yeah, look, I think a big thing that we've done really well this tournament is we've always responded strongly after a loss. So obviously we've had another one today, and whilst they are disappointing, it happens in T20. You have an off day, someone else plays better, and you've got to make sure you regroup and stay positive, and that's one thing we've done well. So I expect us to bounce back strongly against Mumbai. It doesn't mean we win, but I expect us to have a better performance, and hopefully that this loss today will spur us back into action to play our best cricket, because today we were off the mark.
Saini split his webbing in the last ball there. He obviously got hit on the thumb on the right hand, and he's just split the webbing over there. Fortunately, they had a good hand surgeon, an orthopedic hand surgeon. He stitched it up nicely for us. put in 5 stitches for what it's worth, and so we're just going to monitor it overnight, and then we'll try and strap him up and get him ready for the next few games. Virat, sure, 4 or 5 years ago, he had it in Kolkata, split it while fielding. We managed to stop the bleeding, bandage it up. He went on to bat, got 100. After the game, we got a top plastic surgeon in Kolkata to come out at 1 o'clock in the morning to stitch it, and he played every game after that, scored quite a few hundred. So, but unfortunately, you can't compare the 2 injuries. Some people can manage it, others can't. It's also because it's his bowling hand, it puts a lot more pressure on him, and so I can't be sure when he's going to be good to go. But I'm hoping, knowing Saini, that he's going to be good to play in the next game and for the rest of the tournament.